and welcome back to Source My Gadget, and today we'll be talking about the iPad Pro 12 5th generation. Now, if you missed our video on the 4th gen, you should definitely run and watch it. It will be linked in the cards above. And let's get right into today's video. So this iPad was released on May 21st, 2021, and it's definitely not a small tablet. It's 12.9 inches in size, so bear that in mind. I know that a lot of people might prefer the smaller versions of the iPad Pro. So you can either look at the 11-inch model or the iPad Mini 2019. Those are still very good iPads with good performance, just that they're smaller in size. No, but for those who don't mind a larger screen and larger tab size, you know that you definitely enjoy a larger display from that screen. So the iPad Pro 2021 is a gorgeous sliver of machined aluminium. It's just very sleek and sweet. Like, it's so amazing. The design, it feels so good to hold. The moment you set your eyes on this iPad, you just want to buy it. You literally just want to buy it, even if you don't need it. Like, that's how sleek and good it looks. It has really thin bezels outlining the display and is nearly identical to the 2020 iPad Pro and iPad Air models. The front of this iPad is glass with a scratch-resistant coating. However, if you want to maximize protection of your screen on this iPad, you definitely should get a screen cover. I mean, it's very pricey, so you should definitely invest in a screen cover. No matter how gentle you think you are, get that screen cover. So Apple makes this iPad only in silver and space gray. Now, this is a very limited choice option when you see the wide arrays of bright colors that the iPad Air 2020 has. Now, this iPad weighs 1.5 pounds and it's slightly too thick for the previous model of iPad Pro's Magic Keyboard. If you pair this 12.9-inch tab with its Magic Keyboard, it weighs up to 3 pounds, which brings it to MacBook Pro 2020's territory. So it weighs almost the same with the MacBook Pro 2020. So Apple is sticking with the previous model's buttons layout. So you lock it from the top with the button, you get to connect it via the USB-C port, and you still have your volume rockers. So the one upgrade to the 2021 iPad Pro is the Thunderbolt 3 and USB 4 support. Now, this is amazing for those who connect external devices. The speakers on this iPad are strong enough and loud enough to make you forget to charge your Bluetooth speakers. Like, they are so good. There are 4 speakers in total, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Now let's get into the display of this iPad. Oh my god. So the new Liquid Retina XDR mini LED display on this iPad is absolutely gorgeous. It has maximum brightness levels that have never been seen on any iPad before this one. Now, you may not always gain the maximum benefits of the Liquid Retina XDR display if you're not watching HDR content on this iPad. So it's still one of the brightest tablets out there with a peak brightness of 1588 nits. And it's amazing for watching movies, for consuming general entertainment content. Like, this iPad is the one for it, and it's powerful enough to carry out everyday tasks. Now, the display also has a 120 Hz refresh rate, which means that the on-screen images refreshes really fast to give a smoother and cooler feel. It makes your images look rich and more real. Now, moving on to the processor on this tablet. This is the first tab that Apple is using its own Bionic chip, which is the Apple M1 chip. Yes, this iPad has the M1 chip, so you can imagine how powerful and amazing it is for running heavy apps. The M1 chip in the iPad Pro 12 2021 is super fast. You likely won't appreciate this chip if you are not using this iPad for intense gaming. Yes, intense gaming, or for superpower hungry apps, or just generally strenuous things such as editing high quality videos. That's when you're going to really get a feel of what the M1 chip is like on this tab. This iPad is super amazing for multitasking. It won't run slow on you, and it will load your apps such as YouTube, Netflix, or even more power hungry apps in the blink of an eye. Like, there's no lag with this chip on this tab. So if you're someone that would typically use this iPad for everyday tasks, that's not bad. You might still notice a change in how fast your general applications load and in the general speed of the iPad, but this is more ideal for people that are interested in making their own music using the iPad, or editing videos, or drawing, or just anything really heavy and intense. You really get to enjoy the power of the M1 chip. So with this tablet, you're either getting 8GB of RAM or 16GB of RAM, depending on the memory you decide to go with. So generally, the 128GB, 256GB, or 512GB storage variants get 8GB, while the 1TB or 2TB storage variants get 16GB. So you can see that this is a powerful iPad with not just an amazing processor, but also enough space and RAM to carry this processor. So there's also 5G connectivity on this tablet for the first time ever, which means you can take advantage of next-gen high-speed connectivity just by paying a little bit more for the iPad Pro with 5G. Now, cameras in tablets have never been the star feature, but this iPad has an amazing set of cameras which are worth mentioning. The iPad Pro 2021 reflects the changing world as it comes with a 12-megapixel selfie camera which also has true depth. It is crisp enough for the video conferencing era, and its center stage feature is really amazing. So what the center stage feature does is it makes sure that your face still remains in frame whether you move or not. So basically, when you're moving around, or if you have to move while taking video calls, the center stage will lock onto your face and move along with you to ensure that you're still the center of concentration. However, if that's a bit too much for your regular video conferencing needs, you can turn that feature off in the camera setting. However, if that's too much for your video conferencing needs, you can turn the center stage feature off in the settings of certain applications. As for the rear cameras themselves, this comes with a 12-megapixel primary camera and a 10-megapixel ultra-wide sensors which take amazing pictures. Now, like I said, this tab might be a bit too big for you to be taking pictures with, but if you decide you want to explore the cameras, you have amazing cameras which will take clean, crisp pictures. Apple is still providing Face ID for unlocking, and this doesn't have a fingerprint sensor. So the Magic Keyboard for Apple is still setting a great standard for external keyboards. However, the only major change for this year's external keyboard is the color, but it's surprising what a simple color change can do to the whole aesthetic of this tab. Now, the external keyboard for the iPad Pro 2021 is white, not the regular black, and it looks so good in my opinion though. So I know that there might be some people that might prefer the black, but I think the white is a welcome change to the regular black, and it looks really amazing. Now, this iPad still comes with the second generation of Apple Pencils, which is a strong stylus, and it still charges by magnetically attaching to the top of the iPad. The iPad Pro 12 2021 has amazing battery life. On web surfing, it lasts about 11 hours. That's such a long time, meaning you can take this on a long day of work and your battery will last you long enough to carry out your work. So the iPad Pro 12 2021 shows Apple's leap forward in performance and display quality to make the iPad Pro more true to its name than ever before. It is impeccably designed with a screen that is probably better than most laptops out there, a Pro processor, and 5G connectivity that is faster than the cloud itself. So if you ask me, this is definitely an amazing buy for people who aren't really into buying laptops and moving around with bulky laptops, but just want something sleek and simple that they can just hold and work on the go. You should definitely consider getting the iPad Pro 12 5th generation. Now that's it for today's video. I hope you found this information insightful, and I hope I was able to convince you to buy this iPad if you've been considering it. You should definitely go to our e-commerce website, sourcemygadgets.com, where you can buy the iPad Pro 12 5th gen or any other gadgets of your choice.